watching Food as Medicine, where we help you heal from the root cause so that you can feel whole again. And especially the topic we're talking about today is adrenal fatigue. Many people with adrenal fatigue do not feel whole, and I hope that what we talk about today helps you move in that direction, because I have experienced adrenal fatigue more times than I care to share, and I know the pain of it. We call adrenal fatigue the 21st century stress syndrome because so many people have it. We just have too much multitasking, too much going on, too much going against the human body. And so what happens is we have our adrenal glands, these two tiny little glands, no bigger than the size of a grape, that sit right above your kidneys. They are the gas tank of the human body, and they are responsible for your life force and how much vitality that you feel. They are a team with the thyroid. They're symbiotic. They work together. When one is working hard, the other says, I'll pick up the slack. So usually when somebody is in adrenal fatigue, they also need to address their thyroid. So we're talking really about everything today when it comes to those two glands. Now, what are the symptoms of adrenal fatigue? Tired but wired is a major symptom. You're almost so tired, but your nervous system's still revved and you can't sleep. Or even if you can sleep, you're waking up consistently between 1 and 4 a.m. The circadian rhythm is typically flipped as adrenal fatigue progresses to the more advanced stages. So you wake up completely exhausted, and then you're wired at night when you actually want to go to sleep. Dizzy upon standing because you're mineral deficient, so you could go from sitting to standing or laying to standing and you see stars, you get dizzy, dark circles under the eyes, dry skin, loss of sex drive, pigmented skin, you start reacting, you're more sensitive to the sun than usual, or maybe don't even want to be in the sun. These are all signs and symptoms. And then the advanced stages is stage 3 adrenal fatigue, where you feel flatlined. You just never have energy no matter what. And it is so challenging emotionally because now you've lost this sense of self. Even things you used to love to do, your hobbies and interests and passions, sound like work. Anything but Netflix and chill sounds like work when you have stage 3 adrenal fatigue. So the good news is, with the proper diet and supplementations, you can start to progress and feel a lot different within just about 3 weeks' time, using food as your medicine. So adrenal fatigue, we get it. How do we get it? 3 ways, 3 things we need to focus on. 1, mental emotional stressors, which is actually the hardest part for most of my clients because it requires a different emotional mental relationship to stress, because we all have to live and deal with life, but it's how do we react to it. We don't want to kick our adrenal glands every single time something happens that's challenging for us. And you have to make scheduling changes. But then also blood sugar balance on the food as medicine piece and gut health. Those are so important. You have to take care of gut infections and you have to balance blood sugar if you ever want to pull yourself out of adrenal fatigue. So this is what we're doing. Let me give you a perfect day in the life of what somebody with adrenal fatigue should eat to feed not only the adrenals but also the thyroid, which will then turn off that nervous system stress response, nourish the nervous system, and give your body a chance to heal, because now you will be living in the right nervous system, which is the parasympathetic nervous system, the calm one. We don't want you living in fight or flight. So let's say, because I know from adrenal fatigue, you're not super hungry in the morning because your liver really can't handle it. It's a little bit overloaded. So we have to have protein and healthy fat within 1 hour of waking without fail if you want to feed these adrenal hormones, the stress hormones. So doing a smoothie that has at least 25 grams of protein, and it has to have at least 12 grams of fat. So let's say you use your healthy protein powder, and we'll put a link to those below. And then you also want to make sure you're having healthy fat. Coconut oil is great. Add in some fiber in the form of chia seeds. Make sure you get a carbohydrate. Those with adrenal fatigue and thyroid issues need a little bit more carbs, so fruit has to go in this smoothie. And if you don't use fruit, you can use a little bit of honey. And then that's the combination of protein, carbs, and fats that feeds the adrenals, feeds the thyroid, and then we can actually teach the body to start making its own cortisol again. Or we also have, which you can swap out, either a smoothie or our Adrenal Healing Creamsicle, which we will also include a link, as a snack or a breakfast. So these have the perfect combination of what you need to start to get the hormones fed and moving. And then when you're thinking about having your proper meals, so to speak, I want you to think about, you need a complex carbohydrate. We're going to go gluten and dairy free when we're trying to heal from adrenal fatigue. We're going to get rid of all the processed sugar, and we're going to make sure we have a complex carb with lunch without fail. It's not an option whether you do brown rice or quinoa or sweet potatoes or yams or cassava tortillas. You need a carb with lunch to slow the release of glucose in your system. You also need some beautiful veggies. They can be raw or cooked. If you have gut issues, go for cooked. And then make sure you have 4 to 6 ounces of healthy, clean animal protein. That can be fish, that can be chicken, that can be beef, it can be duck, it can be bison. You get the point. Just a high quality animal protein, and you vary your profile. Salmon's going to be my favorite because you need higher omega-3 fatty acids when you are healing from adrenal fatigue, which you can also get from walnuts. And then you're going to repeat the same type of a lunch for dinner. You're just going to change your veggies, change your complex carb, and change your protein. But you need a snack when you're recovering your thyroid and adrenal fatigue. You need to deal with food frequency. And so the perfect snacks would be Adrenal Healing Creamsicle. You can make this in a shaker blender bottle in 5 seconds. It's got cream, orange juice, salt, as much pink salt as you can stand, and collagen, and we'll include the recipe. And for those who are dairy-free, you're going to use coconut cream. Here's another adrenal and thyroid perfect snack, is 1 cup of bone broth with 2 scoops of collagen for your gut, but also that really usable protein that the body doesn't have to work hard to access to stabilize blood sugar. And then you're going to do between 3/4 and 1 cup of organic berries. That's the perfect combination to shut off the nervous system and allow the thyroid and the adrenals to start to come in harmony and work together. Now, when you're having some nuts and seeds, or if you ever have fruit as a snack, like a banana is really good. We need more potassium when we're healing from adrenal fatigue. Make sure you blunt the sugar spike with a handful of nuts. 10 to 12 nuts will do the trick. Really helpful. And if you have trouble sleeping because of your adrenals, you can take a banana and roll it in Himalayan pink salt and have 10 to 12 cashews. That's going to trigger your serotonin release, which is the feel-good neurotransmitter that helps us calm down and prepare for sleep, but it also is loaded with vitamin B6, and you're having protein, fat, and carb before bed, so you don't hopefully wake up between 1 and 4 a.m. because the thing is cortisol and insulin have an inverse relationship. So when your body's starving your blood sugar, then your body thinks, oh my gosh, fight or flight mode, something's wrong, generate cortisol. So that's why, if you see what I'm saying, we're using food as medicine to stabilize your blood sugar so you don't get these unnecessary cortisol or stress hormone spikes. Now, most people with adrenal fatigue are really deficient in trace minerals. So whether you're going to really increase your salt consumption because you're probably craving it anyway, or you're going to add trace minerals, whether it's in supplement form or this is straight liquid, they don't taste good. I have to warn you about that. But you're going to put 10 drops in a glass of water at least once a day, and you can go up to 20 or 30 drops, as much as you can stand taste-wise. And doing that for 4 to 6 weeks is going to help refill your mineral stores. You'll start to feel better. Mood starts improving. You're coming back online a little bit. Magnesium is going to be really important because it nourishes the nervous system, and it also has some digestive protective qualities. Taking 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams of magnesium before bed with your snack is a great idea. And then throughout the day, using licorice root, a really high quality, low dose licorice root, as long as you do not have high blood pressure, because licorice can drive up blood pressure, but most people with adrenal fatigue have low blood pressure, so you're fine. So you're going to be doing anywhere from 2 to 10 drops twice a day with your snacks of licorice so that you can start to pick up your stress hormones. Now remember, we really have to take care of gut issues when we're healing from adrenal fatigue, so supplementing with a really high quality multi-strain probiotic to take a little bit of the burden off the GI tract is going to be really important for you. This is a lot of information, but there is a lot more that you can learn on this topic to help yourself heal. So I brought two of my favorite books. One is the Adrenal Reset Diet, which will teach you how to strategically cycle your proteins and carbs, which is why you'll understand why protein is just so crucial in the morning, and you can do more carbo loading at night to start to get the circadian rhythm back to where it belongs. And this is one of the older books on adrenal fatigue, the first one I ever read, but it still holds up strong. It's going to show you that you get your nutrients, and it will explain it. Adrenal Fatigue, the 21st Century Stress Syndrome. So, wherever you are with your precious adrenals, please take good care of them and start to heal. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time for Food as Medicine.